What's up, guys? It's King Andrew here with tonight. We're doing some Nexus Gaming series, of course, and we've got Div D West, collecting countless stars, abbreviated to CCS10, against none other than... This is not a suspenseful pause. I actually just forgot the team name in the moment. It's Skeleton Shenanigans. What a fantastic name. How could I possibly forget it? What a bad streamer. What a bad caster. God damn it. Cut the stream now. Anyway, so Div D West, collecting countless stars versus Skeleton Shenanigans. Let's take a quick look at everything that I've got here. Our facts. I love facts. Facts are great. So these two teams are... First of all, these two teams have no matchup history whatsoever. They've never played each other, so we're about to see a first ever matchup between these two teams. Part of the reason that is that Skeleton Shenanigans is a team that has existed before. According to the NGS website, the last time Skeleton Shenanigans was in NGS was Season 12. However, on the other side, Collecting Countless Stars has played for the past 3 seasons. That means 14, 15, and 16. So their participation in NGS has not overlapped until now, Season 16. So they've never played each other. Both these teams struggling a little bit, off to a bit of a rough start in their NGS Season 16 season. A little bit redundant in the words, but you'll forgive it, I'm sure, as I almost dropped one of my drinks as I'm doing a movement with my hand. CCS10 right now sitting at a 0-3 series record, 2-6 map record. Skeleton Shenanigans themselves at 0-2 in series and 0-4 map record. So they're both struggling, both looking for their first win. The good news for at least one of these teams is that at least one of these teams is guaranteed to get their first NGS series win of the season. And with any luck for Skeleton Shenanigans, they'll get their first map win of the season. However, they are not guaranteed that. So definitely good luck to these teams. I think a lobby is actually already up, and these guys are literally waiting for this caster who's just talking to the stream and not paying attention to the fact that the lobby is literally already up. But it looks like one player is actually still missing in the lobby, so at least I'm not the latest one. There is still one more person who needs to join this lobby before we can actually make this happen. While we're waiting for our person to actually join, just right as I said that, we'll take a quick look at our map screen. As we can see, Collecting Countless Stars banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen and Alterac Pass, ultimately selecting Infernal Shrines after Skeleton Shenanigans banned out Garden of Terror and Cursed Hollow. Banned out some of the big 3-lane maps, not that there are many options for 2-lane maps, and we end up going to Infernal Shrines, which is probably kind of I feel like it is the go-to map for the Nexus Gaming series. It is, I think, a map where there's a good combination of it being, in my opinion, one of the more fun maps in the game, as well as being one of the more relatively easy maps to play. And of course, that's subjective. Could be wrong about that, but that's personally how I feel about it. You know, I think there are some maps like Dragonshire that are very advanced and are very difficult to play, and then there are other maps like Sky Temple that are, in my opinion, just not very fun. So I don't tend to gravitate towards either of those maps. Infernal Shrines, love to play it, love to cast it, and I love that we're going to have our first game of this series on it. So, just in case you missed it, just in case you came in like more than 5 minutes ago, I'm King Andrew. Good to see you tonight. We are going to watch a match between Skeleton Shenanigans and Collecting Countless Stars, but Collecting Countless Stars is actually the home team, so they should go first. I'm going to let these people know that the caster is ready. I'm King Andrew. I'm a Nexus Gaming Series player, a Nexus Gaming Series caster. I'm an ARAM enthusiast, I'm a voice actor, and I'm also a former elementary school teacher. I wear many hats, even though I might not be wearing one right now, and one of the hats I don't like to wear is the captain hat in-game. I make Canny wear that. Actually, I don't know if he actually does wear that. I don't remember who wears it for our team. I think Lionhouse often does. Yeah. So, we still have one person AFK. I'm running out of things to talk about. I feel like I've been pretty good about keeping things going up till now. How are you guys feeling about Baldur's Gate? You done with it yet? I haven't even started. I haven't bought the game yet. I will buy the game soon, but I still need to finish a couple other games. Still need to finish Cyberpunk. Still need to finish Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Need to finish Yakuza Like a Dragon. All these games need to finish before I even touch Baldur's Gate 3. I guess I could, of course, just play Baldur's Gate 3 without finishing those other games, but I hate leaving games unfinished. But it also just seems to happen where at some point I get to a certain point in the game and then I stop playing it. And then we're just running into these weird tangents while I'm casting in the middle, where I'm trying to cast a Nexus Gaming Series match, and I wonder what I'm doing with my life. All right, looks like we're just about ready, so we should be getting into this game any second now. Thank God. Please do it. I need more to talk about. I need a draft screen in front of me, or otherwise I'm going to go crazy. Both teams are ready, so any second now. Good to have you guys in chat. We've got Canny in chat. We've got Zool Rules in chat. Zool Rules. You seem somewhat familiar. I wonder. Anyway, who else do we have in chat? Oh, forget about who we have in chat, because we've got a draft. Or do we have a draft? We don't even have a game. No, just kidding. We got a game. I was wondering if my Discord sources sources were a little off, but they're not. So, let's get into this. All right. Now, between these two teams, I'm a little bit more familiar with CCS10 or Collecting Countless Stars. I was formerly part of the CCS Mega Team, so I have scrimmed against CCS10 actually several times. However, their roster has changed quite a bit. In fact, out of the people on the roster, only one of them is actually someone who I had previously scrimmed against while they were on this team, that being Kathazia, who I believe is the captain of the team. She's a mainstay of the team. Some of the other players are new to the team. The rest of the players are mostly new to the team. They're all new to the team this season. However, some of them were already part of the CCS Mega Team. Keladorn and Anaressa being two of those. Extra X is a new person for me, not familiar with them. But let's take a look at this first man. It's going to be the chorizo, the shawarma, the chromie, and all different variations of words that sound vaguely like chromie, or maybe not even at all like chromie, that I can just substitute in just for the purposes of memeing around. Meanwhile, the Lunar are going to be banned out. Anaressa plays Lunar for sure. Comfort pick for some people. Certainly some good things about that hero. I've been starting to warm up to the hero myself. She's long been a hero that I've been uncomfortable with. She's got some really, really strong things about her, and also some kind of weak things about her. Let's take a look what our next ban is. It's going to be the Stukov. I often, I think the Stukov ban is pretty common in lower to mid divisions. I'm not wholly on board with Stukov bans myself. I do think Lurking Arm is a completely bullshit ability, but I'm sorry, Valk. But I do think that there are 4 better healers in this game, and these days I don't view the Stukov as being super ban worthy in the primary ban phase. But man, you know who's ban worthy but didn't get banned? Hogger. Hogger's a good hero. Sylvanas great too. Really strong 1-2 pick by Skeleton Shenanigans with the Sylvanas and the Hogger. Hogger, I mean, he's a great hero on every map, but he is particularly busted on this map. Big fan of Sylvanas, comfort hero for me. Know quite a bit about her, and some good hero picks coming out of Collecting Countless Stars. I'm never a fan of the Rainer. Although sometimes I often hate on Rainer picks in draft, and then sometimes when it actually gets to the game, I start liking the things that come out of the Rainer. There are things that Rainer can do. I do feel that he is one of the weakest heroes overall in the game. I do feel that he is the #1 weakest auto attack based hero in the game. But at this point, he's been picked. We're going to see what he's going to do. We're not going to see what Blaze can do because Blaze is banned. Johanna also picked up by Kathazia, not acknowledging that until now. And Johanna is really, really common to see either banned or picked early in mid to lower divisions. And we're going to see the Mei banned out. The Mei. And our final... No, we already had our bans. The Tyrande. Now, the Tyrande is normally a pick that I'm not super high on, but the combination of Varian and Tyrande is a very good one. And if they're consistent and disciplined about making sure that Tyrande follows up on the Varian taunt, it's actually highly effective. And I'm actually excited to see it work out. Hopefully it works out. Not to be biased. Bloody Drape's going to pick up that Imperius. Fun hero. Not one that I feel is super common in the offlane these days. I actually think Imperius is better as a flex DPS put in the 4-man. But, oh wait, that is 2 healers. I'm just realizing that now. Rhaegar picked up by Extra X. That is a pick. We'll talk about that more while I catch up on some other things. An atomic alien. Gonna pick up that Jaina. Yeah, picking up the Rhaegar there is definitely the thing that seems the strangest out of everything in that draft. And maybe not the Rhaegar itself, but the fact that the solo range DPS is a Raynor. So it's definitely interesting. We're going to get into this draft soon. I'll talk a little bit more about how I feel about this draft once we've actually gotten into the game. Here it is, game number 1 between CCS 10 or Collecting Countless Stars. Going to happen on not Battlefield of Eternity. That's the other Diablo map. Instead, we have Infernal Shrines. We've got Cathasia on the Johanna, Bloody Drapes on the Imperious, Anaressa on the Raynor. Keladorn's going to be playing the Anduin, and Extra X is going to be playing the Rhaegar. Their opponents, Gossamer is going to be playing on the Varian, Melkor on the Hogger. Wonderful hero. Jay Trinja is going to be on the Jaina. Silver Spy will be playing that Tyrande, and Atomic Alien is on the Sylvanas. So, a lot of strange things here draft-wise. I think the draft out of Skeleton Shenanigans is something that makes a little bit more sense on paper, and it's something that is a little bit more cohesive and better put together between the Varian, the Varian with the Tyrande follow-up, and then you've got plenty of damage follow-up between Jaina and Sylvanas. That being said, I think it could potentially struggle into a double cleanse healer comp from Collecting Countless Stars. Now, in Collecting Countless Stars side, they have way more sustained healing than Skeleton Shenanigans, between not just the fact that they have 2 healers, but the fact that both of their healers are better at sustained healing than the 1 healer for Skeleton Shenanigans. The major problem, though, that I see with the Collecting Countless Stars draft is the fact that our solo range DPS is a Raynor. I think with something like this, where you have 2 healers, I feel that your solo auto-attack ranged hero needs to be virtually anything other than a Raynor. Ideally, a Vala. I think if it's not a Vala, it should next be like maybe a Cassia. I think Greymane and Sylvanas are like kind of next after that. But it is what it is. We're going to see what they're going to do. There's definitely a lot of pressure for Anaressa to put out a lot of damage here. And also a lot of pressure on both Extra X and Keladorn to make sure Anaressa doesn't die to do that damage. Good thing we do have Zealous Glare at level 1 for Johanna. I think she really, really, really needs that to help make up the damage for her team because of the way their composition is. How's our offlane matchup going? Bloody Drapes dueling it out with Melkor. Atomic Alien taking some damage. Gossamer also taking some damage himself. They're trying to stop these permanently inspired mercenaries and minions from Raynor. I am a fan of the Exterminator for Raynor, and I do normally believe that that is the way to go. But I also feel that if Raynor is your solo range DPS, I think this should have been a Gambit Raynor. You have the investment of 2 healers. I think that Gambit Raynor is the highest damage potential of all of the level 1s when it comes to team fighting. But that's how it's going to go. So, Raynor going to pick up that Bruiser Camp. Jaina and Tyrande going to be picking it up on the other side. As neither team is really set up on the shrine yet. Anaressa is going to be there first, going to start it. Going to clear it pretty well. I'm pretty sure the Exterminator works on, yes, monsters, so it should work there. 6 skeletal defenders already claimed by CCS10, but they will move out of there a little bit as they wait for all of their players to rotate up. Melkor, can he get out alive? So this is a little bit strange. Oh, okay. Sylvanas, it seems to me like she's kind of late. I think until she gets up there, I really don't think Skeleton Shenanigans can do anything about this. Kind of with how late this rotation is, I kind of wonder if maybe the Sylvanas should have just stayed in another lane, and Skeleton Shenanigans maybe should have just committed themselves to giving up the objective and just pushing somewhere else. Could have gotten a lot done with the Sylvanas, but instead they're going to try. They're going to try to make something of this. It's going to be tough because they're at the point now where CCS10 could commit to finishing the shrine without necessarily winning the fight. They don't really need to hard commit to winning the fight, but Bloody Drapes is going to commit the spear, and they're actually going to take out Silver Spy. So that is the healer down for Skeleton Shenanigans. If there is something I do have to say in favor of the CCS10 draft, I think their draft is actually a lot more forgiving. And in that regard, although I've had criticisms of both drafts, I think ultimately I do have a slight preference, maybe even more than a slight preference, for the CCS10 draft because their draft is so much more forgiving with 2 healers. Whereas the Skeleton Shenanigans draft is honestly a little unforgiving. And it's not to say that it can't work, but their execution really needs to be on point. Oh no, Silver Spy is going to go down again, along with Jaina. Already 3 kills in favor of CCS10 with this first Punisher, which is actually going to take out also a whole fort. It's even continuing to push. I even think they could reasonably get like the wall here with these permanently inspired Exterminator minions. Come on, don't leave them to die. Let them live their best life. But yeah, the draft for Skeleton Shenanigans, I do think on paper, in theory, it's actually pretty good, but it's not a super forgiving draft. They really need to be just quick with their execution on the variant engages, just taunt, Lunar Flare follow-up, damage out of the 2 damage dealers. Problem, of course, is that a lot of those engages are going to get cleansed and not result in a kill. So they kind of need to actually be really aggressive with it. I think they also need to be willing to taunt anyone. Taunt, and also we have taunt Johanna. That'll probably force out Iron Skin instead of one of the healer cleanses, but I think that's just what you have to do. Anyway, Hogger's down here, which is kind of leaving nobody up here collecting this soak. We've got 5 members down in the bottom lane, actually, for both teams, but CCS10 going to move to mid. I kind of don't like that. I kind of want to see them really look for Skeleton Shenanigans, and maybe they are looking for them. I want to see Kath being a little bit more aggressive here, going for something. Throwing out the Blessed Shield that she doesn't have because she went Falling Sword. I was going to say throw out the Blessed Shield, but that's not going to happen. At any point in this game, Bloody Drapes going over the wall. Going to get taunted, going to get hit by that stun. But now we have actually, it's like, we have like a 4th cleanse out of CCS10. So actually, this makes it super hard for, oh no, that's a big light bomb. Silver Spy is still alive, so is J-Trend, but Gossamer, as tanky as he is, Varian is going to go down there. Yeah, more and more as this game goes on, it is looking really rough for the Skeleton Shenanigans. And I think sometimes there is this impression that Varian is good into Johanna because you get the shield break talent at level 13, and then that makes Johanna a viable taunt target. In the bigger picture of things, I think that is a little bit of a narrow view of things, and I don't think it's quite as simple as just Varian counters Johanna, and it might even just be like not true. So yeah, and normally I'm not a huge fan of I'm not even a huge fan of Falling Sword, but I think it's actually really good here because I think the pressure, I think the onus to engage is completely on Skeleton Shenanigans. Whereas CCS10 can just let Raynor pew pew away all day, and they have nearly infinite heals for him and the rest of his team. Or really her, because Anaressa is not a man, but I'm referring to Raynor. Now, good news for Skeleton Shenanigans is that they're already set up on the Shrine. They're going to start an engage on the Varian. Just kidding, on the Rhaegar. Varian himself gets pulled in by that Imperius, and the first person to go down is going to be Jaina. Melkor is in here, gets caught by the light bomb. I think Melkor most likely goes down as well, but will we finally see some kills? So many members of CCS10 actually getting really, really low, but you've got two healers, and two healers that actually have pretty good healing output. Now, Rhaegar did go for less of a healing build because there are already two healers, so he doesn't necessarily need to maximize his damage output. Went for a little bit more offense, going with some lightning shield talents, but still picked up the ancestral healing. I think this actually could have been a decent Bloodlust game. We'll never know. Still, regardless of what 10 talent Rhaegar picks, it's still 6-0 in kills for collecting countless stars. So what they're doing is working. They're going to get yet another Punisher, but they're actually slowing it down a bit. They're 39ing it. For a second, they were really 38ing it. And they're going to pick up some camps as well, because at any time, they can just have one of their members get one more kill. Kelladorn working on a camp all by himself and doing the best camp clear in the game. Whereas I wonder if they're going to go in, yeah, even steal Skeleton Shenanigans camp away. Silver Spy walking through, doesn't quite catch yet. Not sure if they know. Gossamer knows now. Does find Bloody Drapes by himself. Okay, there we've got a stun, a taunt. A stun? What the hell is a stun? A taunt, a stun. And finally, we do see the first kill in favor of Skeleton Shenanigans. Possibly collecting countless stars, getting a little greedy with this big lead that they already have. I'm sure that they still get this Punisher, but they don't have Imperius at the moment to push along with it, or even to catch Soak in another lane. Sylvanas a little bit busy clearing up these mercenary camps. Still two siege camps pushing in this lane. Where's that permanent inspire? There we go. Permanent inspire from the Rainer. With Exterminator, the effects of inspire will never wear off. Never, ever. Until they die. But either way, it's super strong, actually. And this is how it happens. Like, I hate on Rainer in draft, and then once we actually get into the game and he just starts popping, I actually like it. So this is pretty strong for CCS10. I wonder if they have a possibility of end here. Melkor getting super low, eating a Punisher jump. We've still got like a 30% Punisher and 6 fully inspired spear-throwing goats. Gossamer goes in, and first kill is actually going to be onto CCS10, but can Gossamer stay alive here? He is Rainer. He is not Rainer. He's Varian. All right, some permanent damage on the core. Gossamer taken down, but Rhaegar goes down as well, and the Punisher is gone. But yeah, this is pretty dominant for CCS10. They're going to take a bottom for it as well. What's going on with our talents? Didn't really take a look at much of them. I did take a look at the Rhaegar talents before, called out. We do have that Lightning Shield Rhaegar, making up some of the damage that is lost by not having a second range damage dealer, along with that Holy Renewal and the Blessed Hammer. Again, talents from your non-DPS heroes that are making up for the damage that is otherwise missing from subtracting a DPS hero from your comp. Of course, Imperius truly, really is a DPS hero. So he also makes up a lot of that damage, which makes me wonder what the actual stats are. Yeah, you know who's in fact Rainer's not even our top damage on his own team. He's actually surpassed by both Johanna and Imperius, both truly DPS heroes. So no damage actually missing by having two heroes whatsoever. (16 talent tier advantage in favor of CCS10, so they're going to post up in these bushes, but they don't really have hard engage. Just kidding, they've got a Varian, he can hard engage. I was going to say because they don't have Blessed Shield, but they've got Imperius. Did I say they had Varian? Well, they got Varian now. Got him. They got him in the sense of, you know, got him. But kill's actually going to be traded out as Kelladorn is going to be Kellatorn over the fact that he did die in that fight. That's how I salvage my my misspoken words. 2 kills actually in favor of Skeleton Shenanigans. Even talent tiers. This is potentially illegal, but Skeleton Shenanigans not quite wising up to the fact that Bruiser Camp has been taken. Like they could have invaded that like 3,000%. But instead, they are just going to take bot camps, paint the map, and paint most of the map red. Melkor just rolling around, Hog wild. All right. So, Skeleton and Shenanigans, they are stabilizing a bit in this late game here. But a little bit of momentum in their favor, but overall the game state is still definitely more objectively in favor of CCS 10. They'll pick up a bruiser camp here. That will be a bruiser camp, a siege camp. Just can't get anything right tonight. Siege camp pushing down mid lane against in a 2v0 structure lane. Oh my, we're missing a fight here. Unstoppable from Kath. J Trinja trying to get out of there. Now trying to throw in some spells. Let's get back to the talents. Low health bars from Skeleton Shenanigans. Big heals from Collecting Countless Stars. The ancestral healing going out. Yeah, pretty rough for Skeleton Shenanigans as now they move back because they don't have enough health to fight this again. And this is one of the disadvantages of a Tyrande. She can't reasonably heal this all back up for them to go back and fight. Whereas if similar health was lost by CCS 10 with these two healers, they can heal that up pretty quickly. So I think at this point they're almost kind of have to give up this almost guaranteed. They walk in, but not a chance for them to get it, so they are just going to have to defend it. They still need to defend this. This does things, especially with these permanently inspired goats. Until they die. They're not inspired anymore. Oh no, Atomic Alien, what happened? Gonna try to get out there, but is rooted during the Haunting Wave and doesn't get out. Also didn't pick up the Unstoppable, so ultimately just caught. That is absolutely tragic. And with that death, this is really just looking like a push for core from CCS 10. It's 5v4. Melkor does get stunned by the Punisher. Doesn't actually take too much damage in response. There's no real follow-up on it, but there doesn't even really need to be. Gossamer going for something here, possibly going to find the kill on Kath. Actually does. This now suddenly becomes somewhat defendable as long as, yeah, they disengage, and now they need to clear a lot. They might keep the core, but I'm not sure how much of it they actually keep. They don't just need to kill the Punisher, they also need to kill these catapults. It's too bad these catapults are not permanently inspired by Raynor. Permanently inspired catapults by Raynor actually would have finished this core here. No cap. Oh, but here comes the Hyperion. Yeah, they're just going to run in, finish it off, and that's going to be game number 1 going in favor of CCS 10. All right, so not actually a huge differential in kills by the end, but I guess a couple kills made up by Skeleton Shenanigans somewhere in the mid game, and yeah, that was actually pretty strong. So although there were criticisms I had of both drafts, I do think part of this win ultimately was a draft gap in favor of Collecting Countless Stars. The 2 healers compared to the solo heal Tyrande. Also going with the Varian once again into, and I believe the Anduin, if my memory serves correctly, I think the Anduin was the first pick. And that's also something where kind of going with the Varian and really relying on that as your engage is really, really tough when you're picking that into a first pick Anduin. Take a quick look at talents as well. And I mostly focused on the talents from Collecting Countless Stars. Did see that old school Q build or spear Imperious. I do love it, even though it's not really the standard these days. It is fun, especially once you start seeing some resets. Anduin. Okay, so Joe was first pick. Yeah, my memory is bad. Still, I don't remember. Oh, okay then. You think you know everything, chat? When was Varian picked? Tell me that, huh? Let's see. You can cheat. You can actually like check on the VOD that's like currently in progress and just go back to the draft. You could actually literally cheat on that one. But also tell me anyway, because I don't remember. And also, we need to get into the next lobby because it's kind of already up. All right, we're actually in the next lobby. So let's take a look at our map screen and update things, as that game was won by Collecting Countless Stars, and we're going to go to Braxis Holdout for Game 2. Yeah, 3-4 is not... Yeah, 3-4 is a fine spot for Varian in general, but into the combination of Johanna and Anduin, it ended up being really rough. The Rhaegar made it even harder. So we are going to go to Braxis for Game 2. Don't know who picked this map, but I'm going to find out pretty soon. Map was picked by Collecting Countless Stars. What's up, guys? Good to see you. It's King Andrew. I'm an NGS caster. I'm a Heroes of the Storm player. I'm an ARAM enthusiast. I'm a voice actor, and I'm a former school teacher. I wear many hats. It's good to have you tonight. Good to have some familiar faces and some new ones. We've got Game 2 between Collecting Countless Stars and Skeleton Shenanigans. I'm going to let them know that I'm ready, so that hopefully we'll be starting any second now. And Braxis Holdout is the pick. So I think where I kind of expect this to possibly go in Div D is I think we'll probably see a kind of a fight to get an upper hand in the offlane matchup by picking offlaners later in draft. That's kind of how I expect things to go. And we'll just see like an attempt to win the offlane matchup through, or just a winning character matchup, and then the bottom lane just be a 4v4. And that's kind of how I think things will go. All right, here's our draft. All right, will we see any respect bans coming out for this second game? Will we see a Genji ban? Probably not. Will we? Never mind. Let's not go there. More realistically, I think we will see just really... I think we'll see a couple really heavy wave clear heroes. The Lunar are going to be banned out again, so it's pretty much just a target ban on Anaressa, a preferred hero for her. I'm pretty sure. I act like I know these things, and maybe I do, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. You know, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but they already ran Raynor on Infernal Shrines. I actually think Raynor is not bad on this map. I think Raynor is as reasonable as a Raynor pick can be on this map. He is good sustain. He is good self-sustain, which is good for when you're playing bottom in the 4-man. He also has Exterminator. Good for taking the boss when you need that. Good for defending against a Zerg wave. So maybe we'll just see the Raynor pick again. The Nubrak's going to be banned out along with Johanna. So 2 tanks banned out. And the Anduin's going to be banned out. Actually, by the side of Collecting Countless Stars. Not going to have Keladorn back on that hero. The Brightwing going to be picked up by Silver Spy. One of the strongest healers in the game. Notably missing is that Stukov ban from the early game. So we might see that. Instead, we're going to see the Rhaegar picked up, but that doesn't rule out the possibility of Collecting Countless Stars picking Stukov anyway, or any other healer for that matter, because they've already shown that they're willing to pick 2 healers. Realistically speaking, picking 2 healers is probably better on Infernal Shrines than it is here. But honestly, with a Cassia, which is a better overall damage hero than something like a Raynor, I don't even think going to healers is completely unreasonable, except for the fact that I do think they need better wave clear than they currently have. And you might be thinking, well, Rhaegar adds to wave clear, which is technically true, but when you're dealing with a Zerg wave, I think it's really more important to have actual ranged wave clear. Anyway, the Zul'jin going to be picked up by Jay Trinja. And the Rexar actually coming in early, early in part because it's generally a fairly strong hero on this map. And also a hero that people sometimes have difficulty going against it. There's a part of me that feels like if Bloody Drapes goes Imperious again, I feel like that's not bad into Rexar. I also don't know for sure, but at least what little I know about it says to me that Imperious can do well into Rexar, potentially. Of course, probably going to depend on skill. Anyway, last ban is not going to be the Raynor, so you're not going to see the Raynor ban. Raynor might still be picked. Someone's going to pick Raynor on the side of collecting countless stars, and then they're going to switch it over to Anoressa in the final phase. That's how it's going to work out. Pinky promise. What the hell is a pinky promise? Zagara picked up, trying to go along with the theme of the map. And played by Bloody Drapes, no less. Their offlaner. I wonder if Bloody Drapes is actually going to be playing that in the offlane. And that really makes me wonder what Extra X is going to be picking up. The Garish, meanwhile, picked up by Kath.
Our world is worth fighting for.
There's that Mei that got banned out earlier. And the Uther, actually, it's Keladorn on that Uther. They switched it over. Extra X back on his Rhaegar. So double heals yet again. All right, game number 2 in our Div D West series. Collecting Countless Stars, going to be leading in game 1. Anoressa is going to be on that Cassia. Cathazia is going to be playing on the Garrosh. Extra X reprising their role on the Rhaegar. Uther is going to be up top with Bloody Drapes. Uther played by Keladorn and Bloody Drapes on that Zagara. Their opponents, Skeleton Shenanigans, going to see if they can make this a game. Gossamer got the Mei that he didn't get to play before. Silver Spy on the Brightwing. Atomic Alien on the Sylvanas. Jay Trinja is going to be on the Zul'jin. And Melkor is going to be on the Rexar. Ooh, this is actually... I do feel that this is kind of rough for the Rexar, potentially. Keladorn can kind of control the bear, but not if Bloody Drapes is the one checking the bushes. I do think Keladorn kind of needs to act as kind of the tank here, being the one to check the bushes, especially if he's going to be face checking them. Don't want Zagara to just walk into that stun. And they're going to try to manage with 3 bottom. I feel like this is a decent combination of heroes if you're just trying to 3-man. Let's see how it works out in practice. Cathazia taking a lot of poke damage, throws in Atomic Alien, does use the Haunting Wave to do a little baby teleport and get out of there. Ultimately, this still feels like it might be a little hard for Collecting Countless Stars. I was wondering if we're going to see a throw there, but I think it might be on cooldown. How are things going up here for Melkor? Bloody Drapes running a little low on mana, can probably tap eventually. Keladorn, nice and topped up, does get stunned by the bear, but what can Melkor do here? On the other side, though, it actually looks like this 3-man from Collecting Countless Stars is having a little trouble, except for the fact that they threw Sylvanas over the wall as I curse things. I guess they're playing up so close to their gate so they can get those throws. Groundbreaker is gonna hit Silver Spy. Cathazia trying to finish up that Groundbreaker quest. The Warbreaker, really, it is. We also see Collecting countless cars. Collecting countless cars? That's a new team name. Collecting countless cars. Collecting countless stars. Going for almost full stackies. We got the Groundbreaker, the Warbreaker, that is, the Stormcaller, the Wave of Light, and of course the Thunderstroke. I think Andrew Tate is the one who collects countless cars, but these guys collecting stars instead. Yep, that's it. An Andrew Tate joke. That's what I got tonight. Anyway, does Kat, she does not have Unstoppable, only just now hitting level 4, so she is going to go down. This is rough. This is huge push value out of Skeleton Shenanigans. Except Silver Spy nearly going down there. Extra X biting in 2v4. Atomic Alien losing some health themselves. But Keladorn and Bloody Drapes kind of dominating up here. They stun Melkor. Keladorn loses a little bit of health, but ultimately he's fine. And the 3-man is back at 3 here. And what are they going to do? How does this game actually progress? Like, does this 2-man from collecting countless stars just eventually get siege damage with things like that? Dropping down that bile drop. Extra X jumping in again, biting in. Sometimes biting in is an accident. Sometimes you're clicking around just to try to move your character. You accidentally click on an enemy hero, or even something that's not a hero. Anares is going to fend in, but just get polymorphed, and they have to walk back through the blizzard as they ultimately start losing their wall. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the draft out of collecting countless stars, it kind of just seems that it means they're going to win top and lose bottom. But we'll see how things go as more talents come in. Collecting countless stars, just kind of working on their stackies. A lot of them in their 20s. Unlike me, no longer in my 20s. That Wave of Light quest for Uther allows him to actually get a little bit more healing throughput once he gets a little CDR on the Wave of Light. It's not Wave of Light is the talent. Holy Radiance. Anyway, looks like someone's getting thrown over the wall, but doesn't seem to matter that much because actually you're not getting thrown over a wall. You're just getting thrown over the air once the wall's been taken down. Gossamer not having any problems getting out of there, actually. Zul'jin, obviously, of course, has some stackies himself. It's just intrinsic to the character. 5 extra basic attack damage on Yuant Axe, which, in the grand scheme of things, is not a huge number. I do personally think, especially, like, for sure, J Trenja should be going the percent damage at 16 on Q, on the Grievous Throw. I do kind of believe, personally, I recently had this revelation where I do believe that in regular games, like non-ARAM, I think the best level 1, personally, in my opinion, while he gets a kill there, is the Grievous Throw talent. Q, basically. And I think especially into a Garrosh, just kind of go all in on the Q build. But not everybody does that. Definitely the Arcanite Axes as an overall hyper carry is very powerful. And it does seem like Skeleton Shenanigans is winning bottom harder than collecting countless stars is winning top. And now Melkor has some help. Silver Spy actually coming up here, going to try to help them. The bear just goes in, stuns Zagara. Zagara moving out. Keladorn taking some damage himself from those ranged axes from Melkor. Yeah, Keladorn's having trouble. I mean, I guess this isn't really a 2v2 anymore, or a 2v1. It's a 2v3 because Rexar is here. And he's also got a healer with him. It does mean there's no healer bottom. Kath does get Gossamer thrown in. Gossamer does get kind of like a half Ice Skate. A little bit low on health, but does get the TP from Silver Spy. Does mean that collecting countless stars still just going to maintain their control over top. And I don't think there has been like any beacon progress for a really, really long time. At the very least, we have, at least so far, a closer game than last one. Extra X potentially in trouble now. Gets polymorphed. Slowed down by the May and does go down. 3 kills to 1 in favor of Skeleton Shenanigans. Yeah, and then, I mean, so ultimately, I think the draft... Oh, but Rexar does go down. I was just about to say, I think the draft out of collecting countless stars may not be working out so well. But seems like in the end, they're actually kind of just trading. So Fort's taken down on both sides. Rexar goes down. Rhaegar goes down. Zagara apparently also goes down. And our 10 picks are coming in. Do we have anything particularly interesting? A lot of things so far look pretty standard to me. Here comes an ice wall. Who is that caught in the ice wall? I believe that is Uther. But Uther is just going to use Divine Shield on himself. Also gets the Into the Fray, or in this case, Out of the Fray, which is really how Into the Fray always works. Unless you're trolling your teammates. Calidorn walking in, looking for a stun, but can't find it. And now we have the members of Collecting Countless Stars 5-manning, which is actually where their draft really does shine. And if they can do that, that is really strong. Now, there are certainly ways for Skeleton Shenanigans to do that, to deal with that. Oh, but are they going to be able to deal with Gossamer getting thrown in? Uses the Unstoppable, gets the teleport from Brightwing, but doesn't come in time. A big Wailing Arrow in response, but also a big Devouring Maw in response. So I think that is just going to be fights. At this point, I think it should just be a disengage from Skeleton Shenanigans. There was an opportunity with the big Wailing Arrow, but the big Devouring Maw kind of stuffed it out. Melkor is back here, but we're still waiting for Gossamer to come back up. Bloody Drape's trying to use this opportunity to get the bottom altar, or bottom altar. Just mix up all the objectives. Get the bottom beacon. Instead, they're going back into this fight top. Silver Spy has no health whatsoever. Not even any. Oh, this could be a big ice wall. 2 caught in the ice wall, but Silver Spy is super low. Bloody Drapes is coming in, and Melkor is the first one to go down. So despite the big ice wall, oh, I think Jay Tringer goes down as well. Brightwing not able to get that TP off in time. So, collecting countless stars. Now starting to pull away in this game. It's been mostly even up until now, but this is the first time that it feels like it's really just pulling away. Things could change. Nothing's quite confirmed yet. Gossamer diving out of there. But, Skeleton Shenanigans does need to defend this Zerg wave. They've got decent clear. They don't really have, like, the best AoE damage, but pretty good single target damage between the Zul'jin and the Sylvanas. Since Sylvanas did not go Festering Wounds, that definitely weakens her AoE wave clear a bit. Really just her wave clear in general against a Zerg wave. Her wave clear is still decent. And they might be able to hold this keep here, but the concern is, do people get thrown in? Gossamer gets thrown in, is going to use the Ice Block, and is just fine. Possibly going to trade out kills. Not even trade, they're just going to get kills. Rhaegar is the first to go down. Now they're looking for Calidorn, or maybe they'll go after Cath. Oh, Cath throwing the bear away. Actually, a really nice play there. Does the cooldown come back up soon enough? Going to be some Decimate on that bear, slowing the bear down. Oh, but can Calidorn able to use the Divine Shield? No further kills by Skeleton Shenanigans, but some cooldowns gotten out as a result there. No Divine Shield for a whole 80 seconds more. Divine Shield is in total a 90-second cooldown. And I'm now looking at nothing. So let's take a look at some heroes. Let's see what's going on. CCS-10 going to be picking up their Bruiser, while Cath just posts up near the boss, seeing if anything is happening. Rexar just going to find some soak here, get his team up to 13, and then Skeleton Shenanigans can think about doing something together. Think about finding a fight if they want it. Probably just going to work on clearing the Bruiser camp. And they will get that full wall. Okay, another Ice Wall coming in, though. Ice Wall comes in, no Divine Shield to save anybody. One person goes into the Devouring Maw. It's Silver Spy on that Brightwing. And ultimately, cooldowns and ults just kind of traded out, and health bars are still really high, except for Silver Spires, who's now kind of about 50% of his health. Kathazia going in, fully mounted. As if there's a way to half mount, that doesn't exist. Mounted nevertheless, trying to find a throw, but doesn't ultimately get one, so not too much achieved. Wonder if they... Oh, Melkor! Alright, Melkor... Oh no, what happened? Okay, I guess Collecting Countless Stars just wanted to just go all in on finishing up the fort. I feel like they could have caught Melkor there. Keldorn found the stun. The rest of the team could have gone along with that. I thought they were kind of trying to intercept the rotation. Instead, they were just looking to try to do damage on the fort. But now they're actually kind of caught. Kath is the first one to go down. Good swing for Skeleton Shenanigans, though the Ice Wall does miss. And what can they do with that? I mean, they've actually got beacons up. 25 seconds until Garrosh is back up. I think they can do boss. I think they should do boss. I think they're wasting a little bit of time. I think they really need to hurry there and do it. It looks like they are ultimately going to do it. No, they're not going to do it. There is a D-Shield Uther. There is Devouring Maw. So maybe boss is greedy. But it still would have been a 5v4. And I think enough time if they had gone there as soon as they had the opportunity. So they will take this fort. Probably take the whole thing. As we do have both Zul'jin and Sylvanas pushing it. Don't actually end up taking the whole thing. Just some serious fake news from this caster right here. But they do also have... Oh, okay. Kath was mounted for a while, so they need to... yeah, I do want to see like more dismounts on Kath as she's coming in mounted like that. I think probably the easiest one is Silver Spy. There are actually quite a few ways. Silver Spy can polymorph Garrosh. We can see the Arcanite axes come out. Those are probably a little less reliable, but they can for sure still work. Kath is in there. A lot of ults going out. The Devouring Maw hits no one. Divine Shield has to go out onto Garrosh. The Ice Wall connected onto 2, and there was a Blizzard follow-up, but no additional follow-up after that in the form of damage. Kath getting a little caught out, but has so much health and armor that she's just fine. Even getting the Earth Shield from Rhaegar at times. These days, not a talent that I see too often, mostly because when you're playing solo heal Rhaegar, you usually want the healing throughput of tidal waves, but in this case, with 2 healers, okay to sacrifice some of that healing output for a different talent that might give you some more utility or damage. Kath just moving in with the Decimate. And Oresa walks up to a bear, really tempting fate. They're going to throw in the bear, though. The bear, I guess, tempting fate as well. Now there's no bear. That also means there is Beacon Charge in favor of CCS 10. This game 3, actually, this game 3 is not game 3 yet. This game 2 actually proven to be pretty even, as Rexar just going to even up the shrines. Uh-oh, Jay Trinja nearly getting caught. I feel like there was something there. Instead, they're just, CCS 10 just going to safely take this camp. Going to force a response out of Skeleton Shenanigans. I'm not sure what this back is about. I guess to clear bot? Yeah, I guess. I'm not sure if I like that. I don't feel that there was a super urgent need, and this opens the way for Skeleton Shenanigans to go in 5v4, but the Ice Wall misses. What doesn't miss is the bear stun onto Anoresa, and she does go down. And now that is actually the Zerg wave going to start ticking in favor. It's going to go to 100% in favor of Skeleton Shenanigans. And for perhaps the first time in this series, they appear to be in the lead. The only problem is they do actually have to clear this. Otherwise, this might take out their keep. I don't know. Okay, it does look like Rexar is going to respond. Do love to see that. Don't want to see your keep just come on. Oh, no. Come on. No. Not like this. No. It's gone. It's literally gone when your own Zerg wave is pushing. All right, if that's going to happen, then they need to, like, win off this. Maybe they just plan to win off this. Maybe they're just hungry. They want that core. They don't care if their own keep goes down. All right, there's going to be an Ice Wall. Does catch one. I believe it is Zagara, but Divine Shield is up. Also, Infernal Shrines. Into the fray. Not Infernal Shrines. 2 different words that start with in with completely different meanings. Yeah, they do not take out the core there. So, kind of just a trade in keeps. Feels real bad to trade in keeps when you had a 100% Zerg wave.
You have my gratitude. I'd likely be Zerg food without you.
All right, what's going to happen now? 5 to 7 in kills, actually in favor of Skeleton Shenanigans. We've got more or less an even game here. I guess both teams kind of wondering if the other team's going to take a boss, so they're both going to take their hard camps instead. Safer plays. CCS10 also has the advantage of being able to take their easy camp as well, while Skeleton Shenanigans does not have that option, at least not yet. All right, I think at some point we'll probably just have a fight here. Kath is all the way in, misses the groundbreaker. Now just, okay, Divine Shield keeps her alive, but it was looking a little scary. Ball Lightning was actually soft reset. Not every day that you see that. Oh, but some big stuns, but they're not dying. All right, finally they do die. All right, yeah, Ball Lightning soft reset is something that I feel like you never see. At least it's super rare to see Ball Lightning soft reset. I mean, Ball Lightning, it doesn't even say that it has a, like a channel. All right, Devouring Maw doesn't actually achieve too much. In fact, they might be overstepping a little bit. They for sure have to give this keep. There is no saving this keep. They have to just give it. I think as long as they give this and they don't die, they can hold that core.
Power spike from the beacons. They'll be active soon.
Meanwhile, another Bruiser Camp going to be pushing in top lane in favor of CCS10. Hopefully this time they take it out and they don't lose their core. A lot pushing up here because of that Bruiser Camp. Yeah, Melkor is going to respond to it. And that's going to be a Hellbat camp taken by Skeleton Shenanigans. Kath setting up in the bush, trying to find something before level 20. Can Gossamer get out of here? Yep, Gossamer's just fine. So what ults were traded out of that? Mostly just the Ball Lightning. So no Ball Lightning for the next fight. And especially, we're looking at a fight where Skeleton Shenanigans is reasonably looking at 20. Ideally, they want 20 before going for another fight. Kath just walking in. Oh no, I don't think Gossamer has Ice Block. He does not, and he does go down. Super unfortunate to live there, but they're going to play this because Garrosh was really low as well. 2 going to get inside the Devouring Maw. Still no Ball Lightning, so not actually any damage follow-up there. Kelladorn, though, gets Polymorph, taking huge damage. Has to use both the Divine Shield and the Ancient Blessings. Jesus Christ. Just transposing all the different names. The Ancestral Healing, not the Ancient Blessings. Anyway, 4v4, but Melkor's splitting off, trying to get the bottom shrine. The shrine, Jesus Christ, it's a beacon. Anares is going to step in because they see Melkor, but my god, we have another death! This is a 3v3. Oh, but Jay Trinja does not have enough health, and had Taz Dingo just didn't press it in time. That's mega tragic. That's giga tragic. Still, 20 talent tier advantage in favor, so once Gossamer is up, I kind of just want to see Skeleton Shenanigans go in. Actually, I want to see them go in now. It's a 3v3, and they have 20 talent tier advantage, but they won't in a couple seconds. Garrosh goes in, but he's just taking massive amounts of damage in this late game. Sometimes getting polymorphed by that Bright Wing with the Critter Eyes. Trying to finish off the Garrosh, but he's just too damn tanky. Wailing Arrow goes in, but only connects onto Uther. They don't get any kills. Atomic Alien goes in, but they do still keep the beacons. Gonna take the hard camp, but Kath is gonna throw in Melkor. Oh no, Melkor is not the kind of person who can really get thrown in there. Oh no, they gotta split the Ball Lightning. They do split from the Ball Lightning. And with the bigger Zerg wave in favor of Skeleton Shenanigans, I think they can hold this.
Exterminate them immediately.
Because, of course, collecting countless stars can't let a full Zerg wave at level 20 push on an open core. But yeah, Melkor is definitely someone who can't afford to get thrown in. I mean, realistically, the only hero that can afford to get thrown in is Mei. Actually, technically, I think Brightwing can afford to get thrown in because it's not a taunt garrosh or a tunt garrosh, and Silver Spy can just TP out of there. Yeah, I don't know about pushing with the Zerg wave. Little questionable when you don't have your Rexar. And I do think that CCS10 really just needs to defend this. My God, are they going to win this? No. J-Tringe is way too low. This is actually crazy if this works. And it just might. 37%, 20, 19. This is happening. I can't believe that happened. I felt that was a perfectly defendable Zerg wave with 5 heroes from CCS10, but it doesn't matter. The core goes down, and we are actually going to go to Game 3. Can't believe it. Unbelievable in this game. I can't even get the right scene on my OBS. Jesus Christ. Somebody just cut the stream now. All right. 8 kills to 11. Skeleton Shenanigans coming up pretty big in that game. Definitely, it was an interesting draft, and especially how it worked out in the early to mid game with the splits. And then the mid to late game, actually just a lot of fun with all the fights we had going down, the big ults, things like the Devouring Maw, the Ice Wall. And take a look at our talents. I've been finding it hard to actually even take a look at that much at the talents during the course of the game. A lot of the level 20s are there are definitely some choices that are a little bit out of the ordinary, but a lot of them are still pretty reasonable. I'd say the big one to me that does look as the most strange is the Elemental Conduit out of Rhaegar. This is a talent that I feel that the Ancestral upgrade, the Farseer's Blessing, is just like massively overpowered, and I feel it really just needs to be the pick of 20. Elemental Conduit is also a talent that is very poorly understood by many people, and I think the talent is not as good as the wording sometimes makes it seem. It does not grant Lightning Shield to your teammates. It does not whatsoever. It only grants Lightning Shield on Rhaegar, but not to your teammates. Your teammates just get a shield. No lightning damage, they just get a shield, and it's only 10%. That increases as the Lightning Shield that is on yourself does damage. But yeah, they're just things about that. And I've had like discussions with people about this in the past where we've actually had to establish what Elemental Conduit actually does. So, take a look at our map screen, as we do need to update both who picked this map. It looks like I didn't even update who picked this map. Map was picked by CCS10, but won by Skeleton Shenanigans. So, glad we actually do get to go to a Game 3. Always fun to go to a Game 3. Of course, a lot of times it just doesn't happen. And with the way CCS10 won Game 1, I was not confident that a Game 3 was going to happen. But lo and behold, it is happening. What's up, guys? It's King Andrew. I'm an NGS player, Heroes of the Stormcaster. I am an ARAM enthusiast. I'm also a voice actor and a former elementary school teacher. I do like to wear many hats. And I also like to cast NGS. We got our map for the last game. Last game is going to happen on Battlefield of Eternity, which is fantastic. This is one of my favorite maps in the game. My favorite 2 maps are Towers of Doom. Of course, Towers of Doom is a lot of people's favorite maps. I don't know if Battlefield of Eternity is quite as universally liked, but I just love this map personally. So let's also see who picked the map. Not Towers of Doom. I accidentally picked Towers of Doom because I was talking about it. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. Battlefield of Eternity. Battlefield of Eternity. Oh, man. And does look like Skeletons did pick the final map for this series. All right. Sorry for that pause. So what's up? I'm back. As it turns out, I do wear many hats. Take a look at what hat it is. I love hats. All right. So hopefully we'll be going into game 3 anytime soon. We got a game 3. It's great. It's great. Since we are going to have our game 3 on Battlefield of Eternity, I do want to see some of those classic race heroes. Even though, you know, that's not the only way to play the map, but it just so happens I really love a lot of the classical race heroes. Li Ming, Vala, Hanzo, but I don't think we're going to see that here. Of course, we know that there is someone who dares to play Raynor, and when you pick the Exterminator talent, you do a lot of damage to the you do a lot of damage to the Immortal. All right. I'm trying to see if I got any other hats with me. I don't have any other hats with me, at least not nearby. Oh wait, I might. All right, I can't show other hats because we got to go into a draft. All right, game 2 draft. Wonder if we're gonna see what bands we're gonna see. Some respect bands, maybe. Some of those bands on those. You know, typical race heroes. A lot of times you will see Vala banned out. Zul'jin instead, so not liking that Zul'jin. Did definitely do some work in that game. All right. Lunara's going to be banned out. Anaressa just not allowed to play Lunara whatsoever. Feels bad for her. And the Vala can be banned out as well. So since we just see a complete focus on DPS hero bans, Johanna is allowed to go through. The Johanna did work out quite well for denying the Varian engages in game 1. Blaze Murden picked up, going for both frontliners early. Blaze, of course, fantastic hero. Murden, pretty good too. So that is Kath picking up the Johanna. What I would like to see from the side of Skeleton Shenanigans, as they did pick the Murden, is I'd like to just see them go Anduin, and then... let's forget about Anduin, and let's talk about my boy Raynor. Gonna be going Exterminator this game for sure. Making his way back in this game. We got 2 out of 3 Raynor games in this series. Keladorn picking up the Rhaegar, but I don't know. It looks a little sus to me. It looks a little sus to me because it's been X who's been playing the Raynor, or been playing the Rhaegar. Oh my god, Rhaegar, Raynor. Jesus Christ, way too hard. So it makes me wonder if we're just going to see the Keladorn Uther again, and then they switch it. Anyway, Sonya going to be banned out, denying possible leap engages, I suppose. And our final ban actually is the Anduin. That's actually a really good ban. I'm surprised they did that. It's a really good ban for Murden jumping in. So instead we got our DPS pickups here. Not really traditionally considered Battlefield of Eternity race heroes, but both pretty good in the sense that they can actually poke it from afar. Chromie obviously with huge range, and Cassia actually has pretty long range on her lightning stroke. I actually don't remember if that's the real name of the talent. But either way, with her Q. And we're going to see that. And we do have the Li Ming in the end. A hero I love. And this is definitely the map for Li Ming. And the Malthael picked up by Bloody Drapes. Actually, I feel like probably a decent race hero too. Not that he's necessarily picked up for that reason. And what's our final pick going to be? It's going to be the Lucio from Silver Spy. Are we going to see any switches? No. Keladoran actually is the one who is going to play the Rhaegar this time. He is the dedicated healer player for the team. All right. Hope I got all the heroes correct. It does seem like some of my stuff might have broken, though. Would be a shame. Yep, feels real sad that my hero pop-ups have broken. Gotta work that out. Gotta get some elbow grease, fix up that soothsayer, but we'll figure that out another time. For now, let's get in on this game 3 between Collecting Countless Stars and Skeleton Shenanigans. We got Anaressa back on the Rainer. Why even leave us in doubt? Why just pick the Exterminator now. Kathazia is gonna be on the Johanna. Keladoran's on the Rhaegar. Extra X now actually playing a damage hero instead of a healer on that Li Ming. And Bloody Drapes is going to be on the Malthael. Their opponents, Skeleton Shenanigans, coming back big in Game 2. Jay Trinja will be on the Cassia. Atomic Alien is going to be on the Chromie. Gossamer is going to be on the Muradin. Silver Spy on the Lucio. And Melkor is going to be on the Blaze. Now, in a straight-up 1v1, Bloody Drapes will absolutely just drain Blaze's health. However, I think it's really up to Melkor to not just turn this up and turn this into a straight 1v1. Just focus on clearing the wave. Try not to trade too much damage against the Malthael, because we can see how this is going. Melkor needs to tap. Bloody Drapes doesn't. How are things going in the bottom? We are going to see Thunderstroke Cassia, the Lightning Fury, that's what it's called. I even wonder if that's what I just said before. Oh, big orbs going in on Silver Spy. I really don't mind the fact that we have a Force Armor Li Ming here. This is 50 spell armor, but they come in charges, so they're more like charges of spell block, where each instance of damage will get its damage mitigated by 50 armor. It's actually really good against the Chromie. Just every Sandblast, every Sandblast and every Dragon's Breath that connects has its damage mitigated by 50% is actually pretty good. So I don't mind the Force Armor Li Ming there. Extra X possibly doesn't know that Gossamer is right here. So I think some people said this in the chat, but clearly the race, in terms of pure DPS, the race is 3,000% in favor of Collecting Countless Stars. So it is up to Skeleton Shenanigans to win the team fight and defend correctly. Gossamer is too low. I think Skeleton Shenanigans needs to just get out of there. But it looks like Atomic Alien was even trying to get in on that point to see if they could take it. I think really just needed to get out of there. I think just once Gossamer was at like 20% health, I think the fight was over, and I think they just needed to accept the fact that they were not going to win this camp. Now they have to defend against these permanently inspired minions and mercenaries, courtesy of the Exterminator Rainer. As much as I hate Rainer, I love the Exterminator talent, and specifically this effect of permanently inspiring minions and mercenaries. What's not so great, what I don't love as much, is Blaze going down here. Super tragic for Blaze to go down. Really just needs to respect the fact that also he can't just straight up 1v1 a Malthael. All right. Sadly, this goat camp is not permanently inspired, but still going to beat out the regular minions. Melkor, though, is going to be too much of a match for them. And CCS 10 just setting up on the Immortal. They're going to have their Exterminator Rainer right here, just getting damage. Kathazi is slowing down Gossamer, preventing him from slowing down the Immortal damage. Oh no, we got people stepping into the Immortal stuns. Absolutely tragic. Sounds like they're kind of fighting on this Immortal right now. A little bit of fight going down. They just finish it. Keladorn bites in. I think he was even the one who got the Immortal to halftime. Yeah, this is looking really rough. What does Skeleton Shenanigans do? I think they kind of just gotta commit to the fight. They could do damage to their own Immortal to just lower the shield, but the truth is they don't outrace on any of these Immortals, so they have to win the fight. And it's looking pretty good there with getting that kill onto Bloody Drapes. But Gossamer's pretty low, so is Melkor, so is Silver Spy. Melkor is going to go in. Keladorn, though, looking a little bit caught. Gossamer's going to go in after him, but doesn't look like another kill is going to happen just yet.
To me, mortals, I march for Hell's gates.
All right. Immortal's going to be pushing top with a pretty good shield. Gossamer jumping out of there. And I think they'll just be defending behind the wall at this point as Chromie throws some sand over trying to burn down this Immortal. Gossamer is all the way out there, though. Immortal's not even down yet. Going to get slowed and stunned from that combination Condemn and Punish from Johanna. The Immortal actually now going onto the fort. Will we see this fort go down? Kathazia moving in very aggressively, trying to pull around the fort. Fort is at less than half of its health, but I think it will hold.
Thus ends my assault on Hell. I must rest for a time.
Love the spirited debate you guys are having in chat. What other talents can we talk about? Certainly some rare ones, especially the Seraph's Hymn, something that I don't expect a huge amount. To the extent that it is more common, I think it's a little bit better with AA build. It's probably actually fine either way, to the extent that it's fine ever. Anyway, Siege Camp going to be taken by Skeleton Shenanigans up top. But the better Siege Camp is down here because it is permanently inspired by the Exterminator Rainer. And with this push and with the relative lack of response here, it's only Melkor who's here, and he's less than half of his hit points. But Skeleton Shenanigans, they're going to wrap around back. Honestly, even if they wrap around and get kills, this permanently inspired Goat Camp will finish the fort. We're seeing massive value on the Exterminator here. Will we see... Oh, Keladorn is kind of caught, though. But can they trade out a kill? No. Oh, my God. Silver Spy getting super low. So is Gossamer. We're going to have to definitely see some fullbacks from these players. Also, one of the things to really point out is the fact that we actually have a Seeker Li Ming. That is some crazy stuff. Now, it's not so crazy in the sense that it actually is the best Li Ming build for pure race. It's just really a tough build to execute when it comes to team fighting. Your accuracy just needs to really be good. You need good setup from your tank. And right now we have a Johanna that doesn't have Blessed Shield yet and might not even go Blessed Shield. Anyway, man, CCS-10 just set up on the Immortal, burn it down to halftime in like a second. Kath is the only one out here, though, as CCS-10 is also looking to pick up their Bruiser Camp. That does allow members of Skeleton Shenanigans to move in, but what are they going to achieve here? Possibly a kill onto Bloody Drapes. He needs to teleport out of there. He doesn't actually need it. He just gets unstoppable. Probably from his Rhaegar, because it's too early for him to have an inevitable end. But man, what do they do with this? They're just taking damage. They're at half health. They have Cassia going back. Not the best racer, but it's just what they've got at the moment. And now they find themselves in a 4v5 Skeleton Shenanigans that is. They've got barely any health. They need to get out of here. At this point, I think they need to be content to give up another Immortal, do as much damage as they can on their own Immortal. They're standing in their own slowing sands. It's not working out. Melkor is just going all the way in. He's got 500 hit points. They're trying to kill Anaressa, but it's not happening. Kathazia might be the one who's too low, though. Maybe she goes down, but she doesn't. Not even her. And while all this is happening, X just putting in more damage on the Immortal. Level 10 talent tier advantage. Oh my god, Melkor, you can't block any more shots. This is actually so rough. Oh no, the Seeker hitting. They can't defend this anymore. They need to just do as much damage as they can to their own Immortal and just get ready for another defense. It's actually crazy how this is working out. I don't think that kills, and I'm right. Silver Spy, a little far forward, needs to move back. Another Falling Sword, Johanna. I'm trying to think, is that as... I mean, I guess what the Falling Sword is good into here, it's good into the Slowing Sands from Chromie. So if they have, especially if multiple people somehow get caught into the Slowing Sands, I think Blessed Shield is the better pick here. I think the Falling Sword was good against that variant, but I feel like the Blessed Shield is better here. Like, it is on Skeleton Shenanigans to be the one to engage, and so collecting Countless Stars can afford to be passive, but I think it's better if they actually just punish the engage attempts from Gossamer and anyone else on Skeleton Shenanigans by just Blessed Shielding them and killing them. Anyway, for sure we're going to see this keep go down. Ooh, Gossamer jumps into the potential hit from the Immortal. Doesn't actually happen. This keep does not hold, even though the Immortal might go down. Yeah, it's looking rough. Gossamer tries to find the Stormbolt onto Extra X, but it isn't there. And apparently Blaze went down to Bloody Drapes on that mouth heal. Yeah, really, really rough. Yeah, I mean, in some senses, level 12 to level 12, only 3-1 in kills. It's not completely unwinnable for... It's very much not unwinnable at all for Skeleton Shenanigans, but things are just looking rougher and rougher. They're going to need some adjustments. This kill on Malthael would be nice if they can get it, but unfortunately the DPS are just pretty far behind the Murden, so it doesn't happen, and instead they actually get their Bruiser Camp taken out from under their noses. So they'll clear this. I mean, not much to do at this point. Like, Skeleton Shenanigans needs to win a fight. That's their only option. They don't have the option of playing passive. I think they... Let's check the counter on this. Ooh, okay, so this will be picked up at some point, because ideally, Skeleton Shenanigans does not want to find themselves behind on the back foot on macro and having to clear out a camp before the Immortal, or at a time when the Immortal happens. A fight now would actually be... No, they need 13. I'm just kidding. I'm trolling. Got some face checking here. Skeleton Shenanigans going to get pulled into a fight, but now they actually do have level 13. Atomic Alien a little bit low. Melkor's not actually here, though, and Gossamer's already super low on health and is going to go down. The sound barrier not in time. Melkor not in time either. And this is looking like the beginning of the end for Skeleton Shenanigans. Melkor is probably going to live, but will J. Trinja? They pretty much take this Immortal for free. Some of them are walking in here, but not going to achieve much down your Muradin. In fact, there are only 3 people here because Chromie's not up yet either, so down the Chromie as well. I mean, yeah, at this point, it's like their best bet is... Now they're just trying to reduce the damage of the Immortal, but their just Immortal burn is so much slower by comparison. This is an Immortal that's still going to have like a 70% shield. Man, they've got not even a full wall to defend. I wonder if their best chance, Skeleton Shenanigans that is to just fight past the Immortal straight up. I mean, Gossamer's already in there. We're just going to take a fight, not even past the Immortal, but just not even in the lane. Just in the middle area. Falling Sword goes in, does manage to hit J. Trinja. Sound Barrier only connects onto 2. And the Last Rites will not finish the kill onto Gossamer. But if Skeleton Shenanigans don't win this fight, they are by default losing it because the Immortal is just pushing. And now CCS-10 will just come up behind them. either push alongside that Immortal, possibly. The Immortal is actually being burned down super fast now. I think it still does take this keep, which is still pretty rough. Oh man, but there are 3 catapults. Where's that permanent inspire from Raynor? Don't think quite hit all of the catapults with the permanent inspire. But either way, the Hyperion's on the core. The Immortal is actually still alive, but this core soon to be isn't. So that is game number 3. Indeed, number 3 going in favor of Collecting Countless Stars as they do pick up their first series win of their season. So good for them. Silver lining or positive things to note for Skeleton Shenanigans, they also pick up their first map win. Although they don't win their series, they do pick up their first map win with that game 2 win. A really low kill game. I guess that's part of what happens when your win condition is kind of just posting up on the Immortal for CCS 10. So we'll see if we can maybe get an interview from someone soon. I'll get myself into a lobby. Where is it? I just can't find things. All right, I'm in a lobby. Anyway, what's up, guys? It's King Andrew. I'm back here. In case you don't know me, hold on, I see you guys coming in. I'm an NGS caster. I'm a Heroes of the Storm player, ARAM enthusiast, voice actor, and also a former elementary school teacher, and I quite literally wear many hats. Anyway, glad to have you guys in here. What's up? How you guys feeling after your first win of the season? Yeah, of course.
Indeed. It is the first win of the season. It felt good.
It is your first win of the season. Yep. Good. It felt good. All right. So, I want you to tell me a little bit about your team.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Bloody. Bloody. This is our 3rd NGS season. The roster has switched around a lot. But we're part of the CCS community and we really like it over there. Really, we enjoy playing together and having a good time. And, I very much am all about like positive reinforcement and helping each other grow. And, everyone on the team is pretty proactive on trying to improve themselves. So I'm really proud of everybody for pulling through tonight.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Sure, it feels good to get that first win. And I noticed in the draft for the first game, I noticed that out of all the names on the team, there was only one person on the roster who had been on the roster back when I was scrimming against CCS 10, which was, of course, you, Kath.
Right.
Tell me a little bit more about basically this roster rebuild that you've undergone.
I'm actually really liking it. Everyone that we have right now, had pretty natural synergy when we put them together. And everyone, has really good comms, and a lot of a macro attention. So that's kind of like how I do tryouts. I had a lot of people leave for real life, or like their teams were making teams, or their friends were making teams rather. So we had a lot of people come and go for various reasons. The only one that's still, like me and Demon, who wasn't here tonight, are the only 2 people still from the original roster. But Anaressa and Kelladorn were already previously on other CCS teams. So I knew them previously before they joined the team. And always really enjoyed playing with them. And then X and Bloody I had actually seen like in the Merc squads that I was helping manage for CCS previously, so I knew already a little bit about him as well. But the roster rebuild, I'm really happy with it. I think everyone is really putting forth, the best foot that they can, and I think we have a lot more flexibility now as well. Um, so I'm liking it, even if I have to pick.
Yeah, yeah. Oh damn it! I would hate
I
it if people
know.
made me tank, but
I just don't seem to have an option.
well, it's good to have someone on the team who does what's needed, does the hard job, and in this case, that's you. But
Yeah.
well, yeah, I got to say, one of the interesting things about watching this series was all the interesting drafts coming out.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Why
the
the
double
why the
smart.
why the double heels with the Rainer of all things?
You know what though? Like in terms of shrine clear and control, like with a Johanna in front of it, like it's really hard to do a whole lot like on sustained. And we've been talking about the 3-2 on Braxis, and I kind of already had that planned. Which didn't go as well, but it was still a good practice run for it, and I found some counters to it that I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about that, but I didn't realize they played some of them. Um, and the shrine clear with the Rhaegar with the lightning shield, like I think low key Rhaegar is an offlaner too. Like
Oh yeah, he can
he can do
certainly
camps,
perform
he
that
can clear
function.
waves. Like Rhaegar is such a Swiss Army knife of a healer that I think that he can do a lot. Um and Shrines is one of my favorite maps, and they took it to us first. So I was like, well, and then they gave me the Joe. So I was like, let's just control the map, wave clear, and take the shrine. Um, I'm a very macro focused person generally, so if they give me the opportunity, then that's what I'll do.
All right.
Um, so yeah, even though double healer doesn't seem like a macro comp.
Yeah. How did it feel to kind of drop down to game two? Like you had that because that was the first map that that Skeleton Shenanigans has actually won this
Mhm.
season. So it was their first
Yeah,
map
yeah.
win. How did you guys feel about that going into game three?
I mean, I was disappointed, but Garrosh is one of my least played tanks, and it's the first time I've ever run him. And we ran him specifically for like that 3-2 situation. And the Brightwing and the Sylvanas both counter the 3-2 strategy. So I was aware early on that it was gonna be difficult, and I was just kind of trying to starve the Zul'jin. And two of the fights, it was my fault. I was too far forward. So um I didn't expect them to be able to get it with that last wave. I thought we could clear it in time since we got that pick. But I mean, it happens. Losses are there, and I'm happy for them. Like they did a good job. The Zul'jin was a good choice, even though I tried to start him early game. Um, so I think it was a good set of games. I think my team really needed it to lift their spirits because I think they've been doing really well, but we've had a rough series of games. Like my power went out last week, and all
Ooh,
kinds of
feels bad.
jazz. Yeah. So and my main roster, I just lost another person, someone who was with us last season. So um, I'm proud of everybody for pulling it together.
All right. And yeah, Demon conspicuously absent tonight. I do
Yeah, he's
recall
on
his
he's on
contributions in the
vacation.
past, and I was often honestly very impressed. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I would love me some demon.
good you guys got the win.
Yeah,
He's
he's
here in
gonna be
spirit
so
and stuff.
happy.
So,
Yeah,
Bloody, how's
yeah.
it going? What do you have to say about all this?
Thank you for early picking Blaze on that map. I was very happy when I saw it.
You did kind of feast in
Yeah.
that off lane matchup.
But the Rexar
Perfect
was
Maltho.
tough, put up a really good fight. I mean, the offlaner was good the whole time. Our strategy,
Yeah.
worked pretty well. And as soon as I got let loose in that third game, I was pretty happy.
All right, very good. Well, we're just about to wrap this up, so last thing we'll do is just, do you have any shout outs you would like to give before we end this interview?
I'm gonna shout out to Anna for taking all the bans so I could have Joe twice. And I'm gonna do a shout out to the opponent healer. Uh really some really good saves that I thought were pretty clutch. And the Lucio was suitably annoying as Lucio should be. So I thought the healer was really well played as well. I don't know. I
All right.
like shouting out everybody, but you got to pick people. So those are my
Nice,
two.
true.
I pick one from each side. There we go.
I'll just shout out you for casting. Thank you.
Thank you
don't-
so
Yes.
much.
Because we're doing late, we don't usually get casted, so it was really cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to my team because we put it together. So
I got one additional question for the audience from the audience, which I
Okay.
suppose is also for the audience. Valcomer would like to know what is the best game day sandwich?
The best game day sandwich.
Yep.
Well, as a vegan, my favorite game day sandwich is an eggplant and veggie melt.
Yeah, I mean you can get some delicious vegan sandwiches.
Oh
Not
yeah,
that
I
it
just
would be
made
my
a
first
vegan
choice.
fruit tart. I'll post it in the CCS general. I just made a fruit tart that came out amazing.
Very nice. Bloody, your sandwich of choice?
Angus burger with 2 slices of jalapeno.
Now that sounds like my kind of sandwich.
Some
Yeah.
you go.
bruschetta on the top of that, or some black bean corn salsa, and of course. a
Oh
couple
my
of
god.
chicken.
Oh my
The
god.
chef
I
on the
love
team
it.
over here.
Yeah,
I
I
love
am
it.
the chef. So
All right. Valcomer keeps asking questions. I think I'm going to cut him off at 3 though. He
okay.
also wants to know
Okay.
what's the perfect gaming drink and what is the
Green
name
tea
for
shot.
green you said green tea shot?
Oh hell yeah.
Nice. Bloody, yours?
Water to keep from getting cotton mouth.
Nice. I'm really feeling in line with these bloody drapes picks for food and drink. And then last one is just what is the best name for a drink from a healing fountain?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know this question.
I don't
What's
know.
the best drink from
No,
from
what's the best
healing fountain?
name for a drink from a healing fountain?
Oh,
I don't
man.
know.
On the
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't like the question.
Just
on the spot. I'll think about it and it's still Volcomer?
Yeah, it's Valk.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is, you silly man.
All right. Well, I think with that, I am going to end this interview here. Congratulations to you guys. Good luck to the rest of your season, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, King Andrew. Have a good night, too.
All right, boys and girls. So our series is over. Don't think there are any more series going on tonight. And that's going to be about it. Luckily, I'm having a pretty good streak of luck with actually catching a lot of sick matches. I think I've cast 5 series so far, and I think 3 out of the 5 have gone to game 3. Fantastic. Lovely. And also big things happening. Team getting their first win of the season, other team getting their first map win of the season. Yeah, so it's all good. Sadly, fun things happening. Unfortunately for me, my team got its first loss of the season this week, so it feels bad. Hopefully we're just going to get a win next week. But anyway, that's really it for tonight. So before we finish out tonight, just going to close it out. Make sure you know who I am. I'm King Andrew. I'm an NGS commentator or caster, whatever it is, Heroes of the Storm player, ARAM enthusiast, former school teacher, and also a voice actor. And as you can see, I literally wear many hats. All right. So, hope you enjoyed it tonight. You guys have a good night. Play some ARAM. It's good for the soul.